Hello, I'm Coop, and I've been playing Rimworld. This will be a prologue slideshow to my current Rimworld series and should help explain and set up my goals and motivations for this game. The version of the game I'm playing is Alpha 17. It's the update that brought roads and rivers to the world map. I wanted to land on one and start my colony for no other reason than just because it sounded neat. So we started on a spot with mountains, a river, and an ancient highway going through it. Here we have my original 3 colonists, Shade, Kimmy, and Evo. Shade is supposed to be me. That's right. I'm a beautiful red-headed woman. Deal with it. We settled on the south part of the map, flanked by a mountain to the south and a river running directly adjacent. This shot gives you a better idea of the layout of the base. Up here is our original structure, built between 2 mountains to force lazy raiders to walk further if they wanted to steal from our stockpiles. We dug into the mountain here and started building living quarters and a workshop. This was our first winter. We started building walls along the river to help protect our colony a little bit better and give us a good shot at standing up against raids. By this time, the main kitchen was built and construction of the freezer had begun. Bort joined us too. She's a researcher and she does a lot of crafting and is a decent medic. By next summer, we had lots of power generation, batteries, and a hospital started. I'm not sure why all these people were hurt. It could have been a raid that they helped defend against. Nighttime on the rim. We started plans and excavating for a proper dining area. In the height of summer, Sid, a melee fighter, and Yuna, our first person to be on the night shift, joined us, but I caught a case of malaria. In this playthrough, I started trying to use a mod that gives you more ventilation options. I had no idea how to use it, and this is one of my first attempts at creating a centralized area that would cool the rest of the base properly, and possibly the freezer. It did not go well. Even though I was the leader of this group, I allowed an election to occur. Somehow, even though nobody voted, Evo became the mayor. It basically meant he got to waste time every so often doing some bullshit, the lazy bastard. By this time, Kit joined us too. She's our dedicated hunter and researcher when there's nothing to hunt. By the second winter, we had made a lot of progress on the barracks. The dining area was coming together, and I made the first of several blunders on my ventilation design. Whatever I was doing here didn't work. The western flank of my base had a huge open area to the right that raiders almost never came through. So that tiny little wall was all that it really needed in order to secure the side of the base and force raiders to walk up the river on the other side. I gave the raiders a little bit of help in that regard. I built a dock over the river they would attack from to encourage them along the way. Little did they know, it was covered in traps. Hyena joined us, another melee fighter, I think. By the end of the second winter, we were doing pretty well for ourselves. It was about this time that I realized our growing period started very late in the year. It's the first of spring and everything is still completely frozen. The next day, while running low on food, we had a poison ship drop on us. And unrelated, here's all the graves of people we've killed up until now. Everyone is sleeping, and everybody has kitties. Apparently, we held off the mechanoid drop just fine too. Squirrels attacked. Our bear was a frontline defense. Another ship dropped on us, only 3 days from the previous one. Anytime herds of animals would come, I would send out a hunting party to kill everything. It's much safer that way. In the height of the third summer, we were planting all over the place, trying desperately to grow enough food to keep us fed through the winter. We also started walling off along the highway to secure the expanded farmlands. I also planned a small stone cutting house that hopefully some jerk could live there and cut some stones and not bother anybody while he was doing it. Despite not having a lot of food yet, plans were created to expand the freezer and properly do the cooling. A full 20 days went by before we had another ship drop on us. That fall, Manhunter Megasloths attacked us while fires raged on for some reason. It was time for another election. Who won? I don't know, and I don't care. Another 20 days pass before a ship drops on us again. Vort is seen here building our temporary fortifications. Dominica joins us. She's a useful crafter and loves mining, which is great for our long winter season. I opted to stop throwing people into a small room by the third winter, and I had a pretty nice and sizable prison built. The old prison was then converted into a barn where all my animals would sleep, and if anybody decided that they wanted to attack us through there for some reason, they would get promptly fucked. We also had polar bears now, and there's a cow. Living in a mountain does come with trouble every once in a while. You do have to deal with the odd bug infestation here and there. It had been a long time since we had a dropship on us, but it was no match for us. Things were looking pretty good despite a cold snap pushing back our 4th year growth season. Despite never being attacked from the east side, I devised a bunker system just in case. This is how the base was looking by the end of the 4th spring. There was some toxic fallout that summer, but despite that, we needed to harvest. I built several greenhouses attached to steam geyser generators, which made farming during the toxic fallout a lot safer. We had another mechanoid ship, but the unthinkable happened. I died. And it was up to Kimmy to carry on my goal of aimlessly building a colony. Fam ended up joining us, but the morale of the colony was still low due to the loss of shade. Since the base was expanding so far outward and wanting to make use of one of the bunkers I built for a mechanoid drop, I started building a tunnel system through the mountain that would be useful to keep people safe when they were far away and hunting. On the west end of the base, the kill zone in the bunker was starting to take form. If somebody wanted to rob me, they would have to run through quite the gauntlet. Our team was upgraded with a new recruit. Upgrade. We also had our first volunteers to test out our kill box. The green areas here show how we built the roofs when dealing with these many mechanoid drops. They either do or they used to make it harder to shoot your colonists. The tunnel system we created made it easier to funnel in slower raids and deal with them at our leisure. We finally ran some power through our west bunker and set up turrets. These radiuses show that almost every single position has a shot on the entrance. That was kind of just a happy accident, to be honest. I had so many cats. I just sell them to traders and they reproduce like mad anyway. One of the mods I have is called Sometimes Raids Go Wrong, which gets really funny sometimes when a tribal group raids you, but twice as many wargs get dropped on them. You end up with a bunch of tribal gear and warg meat. By this time, a bunch of new people had joined us. It's the end of spring of the 6th year, and meat production is lagging behind. We're going to need to go to new places soon to get more, because there's simply not enough on this map. At this time, we decided to repair the highway going through the map. The colony ends up having a state-of-the-art hospital up and running with bionics workbenches to create artificial limbs and organs for the many that have been lost over time. And that just about brings us to where we are in episode 1.